Daryl, du klar? Are you ready? Ikke det man skal si her. Ready as I will be, ja. Vi har siste innleder I dag, før vi går over I debatt. Og det Daryl Powell, som jobber på universitetet, som sjefsforsker I SINTEF Manufacturing, dårlig engelsk, men førsteamanuensis 2 ved USN, det stemmer.
Ja,
det har fått med meg litt, det bra. Du har forsket på kombinasjonen av lean og digitalisering, hvordan skape et mer bærekraftig samfunn, og titelen på foredraget ditt Better Together, ikke sant?
Yes.
Yes.
Sant.
Og I tillegg så du inne I et team gjennom Electronic Coast som heter Team Manufacturing. Der også. Is that correct?
Det jeg.
Ja. Bra. Når jeg skulle finne deg på nettet, så måtte jeg google det.
Okay.
Og jeg har funnet ut at du har en engelsk navnebror. Visste du det?
Har det, ja.
Hva driver han med? Husker du det?
Rugbytrener.
Helt riktig. Ja. Så jeg trodde lenge det var han som skulle komme, så jeg ble litt skuffet da.
Ikke bli for skuffet.
Ja, det blir ikke det. Vi skal ha denne presentasjonen på engelsk. Så da får man bare følge med og notere og stille spørsmål. Og så det jo den QR-koden som Linn kommer til å putte opp, eller teknikerne putte opp etterpå. Så det vil være mulig til å stille spørsmål også under debatten. Så da vil jeg bare si, vær så god på norsk.
Tusen takk på engelsk.
Yes.
Ja. Hello, Horton! Yeah? Horton, there's some people still here, that's good. Where I come from, we have a saying, save the best till last. So I'm the second from last, so I'm looking forward to the last item on the program today. So let's keep our spirits high. It's a pleasure to be back at EC Conference in Horton. I was here 12 months ago. Nobody listened then, so I didn't prepare too much this time. I spoke for 40 minutes then, so I'll keep it short today. Better together. Yeah, a lot of things can happen in 12 months. It's a shame Oyvind left. Because last time I met him, he said, Daryl, good to see you. It's been a while. You've gotten a bit fat. He said, cheeky shit. So the last 12 months, I've made an effort to try it. Actually, I was. So technically, I was overweight. BMI said you're overweight. What do I need to do? What was the problem? What was the gap? What did I need to do to become normal? I'm normal now. I need a new suit, so I'm going to send Oyvind the bill for a new suit. But at the same time, Evan, last time we met, you remember what you said? You said, Daryl, you're the best lean professor in Norway. Huh? It's much more snill and Oyvind. But that to me was a little bit oxymoron. How can I be the best lean professor and be fat and overweight? So that was the gap. So I've been working on it. It's possible, guys. It's possible to become normal. So it's about knowing where you need to go, and I think that's key. Seeing where you need to go, and I think that's a key with technology, with sustainability, with everything that we're struggling with together. So I'm going to talk about better together. What does that mean? What does that mean? Let's have a little word association. Egg and bacon. Egg and bacon. Gin and tonic, Charlotte. Yeah? Gin and tonic. Digitalization and sustainability. All of these things are pretty good together. Huh? Egg and bacon goes very good together. But it's better together. And I think it's together. It's the social aspect. It's much nicer to enjoy a gin and tonic if there's more than one of you, right? I know, Charles, you enjoy a gin and tonic by yourself a lot in the evenings. But it's a social aspect, right? Better together. And I think that's what I mean with better together. It's a social affair. So I've been doing some reflecting recently. I'm 42 years old this year. 42 years old. So that means for half of my life, I've been working in and together with manufacturing companies. So manufacturing is my life. Making manufacturers better, more effective, more cost-effective, improvement, learning. It's important for me. So I've been reflecting, working with these companies in the UK, in Norway, in Sweden, Netherlands, China, US, Canada. It's just South Africa and Australia I don't think I've been yet. I need some customers there. So if anybody who tip me off, maybe you can help me out there. But I've worked with good companies and also bad companies. And comparing these companies, those that are succeeding with getting better, do it together. It's easy. It's easy, but maybe it's not so simple. What does together mean? Okay, so first of all, the companies that are succeeding with improving, they're breaking down silos. They're working together within the organization. Engineering, production, sales, customer support, working together on what we call value streams. Right? Value stream. It's the product streams or the services that we're offering to the market. Everybody who has a role to play in that value stream works together. The bad companies are fighting against each other for resources, fighting against each other to be the best silo. Oh, engineering is much better. No, procurement is the best. It's about working together, not fighting against each other. We have common goals, which we need to work together. Can anybody höra hemma här? Who's the best silo in your organization? You don't know. It's possibly not your silo then.
My boss is saying right there.
Okay. Good. Okay, so it's working together, but not just internally in the company. We also need to go to supply chain perspective. Work together with customers. Customers are quite important. That's the guys who are buying our products and services, right? We know who our customers are. We work with those. That's important. Suppliers, we're buying stuff from, components, sub-assemblies, materials. Work together with those. We're not going to solve these sustainability goals on our own. That's what partnerships for the goals. You had it, right? 17. You have a tattoo of this on your back. Eh? We have to do it together. And also, it's not just about our supply chains and our customers. It's working with R&D partners like SINTEF. It's about working with universities, educational institutions like USN, NTNU, working together to create new knowledge, actionable knowledge, not knowledge which is just written down as program knowledge in books that we can publish in articles, but actually what can we use? Walk the talk. Actually create knowledge which is usable in industry. We need to succeed. And I think the final one, working together with clusters. Electronic Coast. A fine cluster to work together on these sustainable development goals. So thanks for organizing all this, Lynn. Thanks for organizing this. So reflecting again, I was thinking a little bit about the kind of projects that SINTEF have been engaged in the last few years. And the results that we've been creating together with industrial companies. Listen to this, see if this sounds interesting. 50% reduction in lead times, production lead times. Cutting it in half. Sounds good? Could you do something with that, Shulk? 50%. Yeah, I see Sindre nodding. Those chili sensors, get them out half the time. Eh? 50% reduction in the cost of poor quality. That's a waste of money, isn't it? Producing defects and rework. Imagine cutting that in half. Then we can earn some money back. 100% improvement in EBITDA. More profitable. Huh? Imagine that. 100% improvement. Doubling your EBITDA in just 3 years. 400% improvement in people productivity. Producing twice as much, solving twice as many customer problems with half the resources. Does this sound interesting? How do we do it? Nobody does it on their own. We do it together. And it's not just because SINTEF have a lot of clever employees. We do have some clever employees. But it's about engaging together with the people doing the work across all the different silos or all the different functions. So I think something that is really emerges as important for me is this collective learning. learning together. Huh? Feels like I'm picking on you, Shell. But you're here looking at me, so that's okay. And we worked, we go quite a way back. So when I was in Kongsberg, working with the Lean program in Kongsberg Maritime Subsea, we had a 3 or 4 year, maybe 5 years, wasn't it? It was a program, research program called Network for Supplier Innovation. And it was a great example of better together. It had the big industry player, Kongsberg, had 6 of their suppliers, some of which were competing with each other, some of which were supplying each other. It was a very nice network of suppliers. It had USN, the university. They were following it with their researchers, writing papers about it, sharing the knowledge, disseminating the knowledge. SINTEF were there. SINTEF Lean advisors were contributing with Lean knowledge, helping to develop the suppliers, and Kongsberg actually at the same time. Who am I forgetting? Innovation Norway, they were also there with their bag of money to help the suppliers. Not Kongsberg. Kongsberg had to fund it themselves because they're so big company, right? They have a lot of money. But the supplier, I think, you want to say a few words, Charles? What was your experience of this ordeal? I put you on the spot, sorry, but... Gjør det.
Det var jo et veldig fint samarbeid. Selvfølgelig, Kongsberg stod jo for det som sådan. Ja, Sjag Måtvedt, jeg daglig leder for Oslo. Det en produksjonsbedrift som ligger her i Horten. Og den største kunden vår jo Kongsberg. Men vi produserer jo mye for dem da. Og i dette samarbeidet her, så inviterte jo de med seg underleverandører til også samarbeide på en bedre måte. Og så vi så på hele verdikjeden. Og det var jo veldig positivt for alle sammen. Det kom veldig mye godt ut av det. Og også fikk vi jo en gjennomgang på hele verdikjeden, som egentlig dro veldig god nytte av alle sammen. Og ja, gode resultater.
Yeah. Tusen takk, Charles. Let's give him a hand. I put him on the spot there. That was cool. That was cool. Involvering, eh? So I think, and for me, the collective learning, it was action learning, learning in action, learning together in the supply chain, together with your own organization, together with... we also had the cluster there, was the system engineering cluster in Kongsberg. We're also part of that program. So I think that's a great example of learning together. Of course, then came COVID. So still wanting to learn together, but we have a new dimension. We have to learn together apart, right? We were not allowed to meet up. So together with the World Manufacturing Foundation and some of my colleagues from Politecnico Milano in Italy, we started looking at a concept called industrial smart working. How were industrial companies engaging with this pandemic and with technology to enable them to learn together apart? And we studied a couple of companies in Germany. One of those, in fact, was able to slash its product development times during COVID by adopting a very smart cloud-based collaboration platform. Anybody guess what that might have been? Microsoft Teams, yeah. Wasn't such a, I mean, everyone uses Teams, but it's a great enabler. What we found out, it wasn't the technology itself which was the result. It wasn't the solution, but it was an enabler for people to work together across the organization, not just in Germany, but with their owners in the US. Before, they'd send emails back and forth. They would go days and days before they get to communicate answers. But now they did it every day at a certain time on Teams, used Planner for real-time planning for their product development process, broke the projects down into much smaller, bite-sized, manageable chunks. So it actually, using Teams, helped this company to enhance this learning together apart capability. And what we found is that actually adoption of digitalization, it's not the digital itself, like I said, which is the solution. It's the capabilities that are built in the organization from the digital technologies as an enabler or an enhanced learning mechanism. So of course this company had already been working with Lean. So we distinguish 3 types of capabilities. The first is routinized manufacturing capabilities. So they're establishing routines in manufacturing, such as a Lean program, which resulted in them having these aspirations for continuous improvement, but they didn't always get to realize these improvements. So the digitalization helped them take a next step further, and that was by enabling them to have these routinized learning capabilities. So the capabilities to find problems using the technology and solve problems together using the technology. The final step that we identified was this evolutionary learning capability, which means that they were able to use the technology to spread knowledge and communicate with each other across the organization, but also identify new processes, new ways of solving problems, and also new business opportunities. So I think it's the capabilities, and we've talked a lot about artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence is a great enabler in that respect, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be this solution by itself. It's, again, another example of better together. Humans, you guys, we need to work together with the technology. AI is our new colleague, I think. We need to be able to work together with our new colleague to solve these problems. So what about Bärkraft? Sustainability, where are we going with that? I think one of the other projects we've been working with in SINTEF, we finished the project late last year. We were working with 2 Norwegian companies on trying to develop more sustainable products in half the time. So reducing the product development times for sustainable products, circular products, circular economy. And we did this again through engaging the organizations in cross-functional samarbete, collaboration. I'll just summarize some of the results we had there. So, I mean, one of the companies, rather than just accelerating the product development times, actually increased sales by 60%. Sounds fair. 3-year project, 60% increase in sales. Quality improved by 50%. Productivity 20%. Most impressive was a 90% reduction in the carbon footprint of packaging used in the products. You might say, 90% in the packaging. Yeah, but what about the product completely? 50%. 50% reduction in carbon footprint for the whole product line through better thinking together. The other company doubled the turnover. Production time went down from weeks to hours. Weeks to hours. Imagine flexibility you gain by able to produce in hours, not weeks. And again, 90% of the materials used in the new product were recycled from old products, which were recovered at end of life and then processed back into new products. Circular economy. Better together. So I think the key here was that companies were able to engage cross-functional collaboration, but also external collaboration with clusters, research and development organizations and universities. And we can then redeploy this knowledge to other organizations, which is important. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. It's great for those individual companies, but unless we share, and I think there's a lot of talk about sharing economy nowadays as well, how can we use and redeploy this knowledge? So it's important to have these, I call adult conversations. Let's get serious about how we're going to work together. We had a little discussion over lunch about, we talk a lot about collaboration or samarbeid in Norway, but it's almost a dirty word, I think. We're not that good at it. I think we have much room for improvement in collaboration. That's just my opinion. I hope someone agrees with me, or I get booed off the stage. Yeah, that was a long 5 minutes. I think to conclude, Sustainable Development Goal number 17, partnerships for the goals. It's about partnerships with ourselves before anything else. So we can have partnerships with research institutes, with universities, with suppliers, with customers, but it's actually a cognitive relationship we need to have with ourselves. It's about changing the way we think before we can actually change the way we do things. So find out what that partnership with yourself is all about and go and solve some problems. Takk for meg.
Tusen takk. Du skal også få en sjokolade. Og det passer vel å si mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Siden du har blitt så fit og lean, var det ikke det?
I don't need the belt.
Yeah, don't need to suit them. Tusen takk.